Guys, this is Rachel from Cypress Textiles, and today I'm going to show you how to make the sunflower motif from the 2022 VVCAL. So I'm going to get started with a slip stitch, slip knot as usual, and chain 3, slip stitch in the third chain from the hook to make my ring, and then I'm just going to make 12 DC. So my first DC is going to be a beginning double crochet. So just go straight in with a single crochet and chain 1, and then 11 more double crochet in the center. So the 11 plus the beginning DC make 12. All right, so I'll show y'all how that looks when it's done. All right, so I have 12 double crochet, including the beginning DC, and I'm going to join with the slip stitch in the chain space or chain of my beginning double crochet. So you're just gonna work straight into this part of the chain right here, and then make your slip stitch, okay? So now we're going to work into the next stitch for round 2. So just go straight in with a beginning 2 DC cluster. So how that works is a beginning DC and a regular DC right next to each other in the same spot. So just make your single crochet, chain 1, and double crochet in the same stitch. All right, and then chain 2. And that is your first 2 DC cluster of the round, and then your chain 2. And you're just gonna do a regular 2 DC cluster in the next stitch. So just yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, draw the yarn through 2 loops on the hook, and repeat that. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, draw the yarn through 2 loops on the hook. And now when you draw the yarn through all 3 loops, you have your 2 DC cluster. And then chain 2, and that's going to be your repeat, just 2 DC cluster, chain 2, all the way around until you have 12 2 DC clusters and 12 chain 2 spaces. All right, so that's what I've got so far, and I'll show you how it looks when it's finished. Okay, so here's my second round with my 12 2 DC clusters, and now I'm going to join into my first beginning 2 DC cluster here. So how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to find my first full DC of it, and then go through these 2 bars right here of that DC and make my slip stitch. All right, and now we're going to start round 3 in our chain space. So we're just going to make another beginning 2 DC cluster. So single crochet, chain 1, and double crochet, and then chain 2. But now we're going to 2 DC cluster in the same chain space, and then chain 2. And so we're going to repeat this around, just make 2 DC cluster in the next chain space, chain 2, 2 DC cluster in the same chain space, chain 2. All right, so you're gonna end up with 24 2 DC clusters and 24 chain 2 spaces. Okay, so I have gone ahead and joined in my beginning 2 DC cluster. So I'm actually ready to start round 4. So I'm going to start it in the first chain space here, and I'll slip stitch into the first chain of that chain space. And now I'm ready to make a beginning DC. So single crochet, no chaining up, chain 1, and then chain 1 for the corner. Well, it's not really the corner yet, but just chain 1 there, and then DC in the same chain space. And now we're going to repeat all the way around, DC, chain 1, DC in the same chain space. All right, so that's what we have so far. DC, chain 1, DC. Okay, so you're basically making V-stitch in every chain space, just DC, chain 1, DC, DC, chain 1, DC. Okay, so that's how we're looking, and I'm just going to keep going and show you how it looks. Okay, so I'm finished with the round, and I made a slip stitch in the chain of the beginning DC, and now I'm ready for the second to last round, which is just chain spaces. So I'm going to go straight into my chain 1 space with a single crochet, and then chain 3, and into my next chain 1 space, make a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the next chain space, chain 2, single crochet, and then one more time, chain 2, single crochet. So that's going to be my repeat. I have chain 3, chain 2, chain 2, chain 2. Okay, so my beginning to my next repeat is going to be chain 3. Okay, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, single, chain 2, single, and then I'm going to start back up with chain 3 again. So these chain 3 spaces is what's going to be our corner. Okay, so you can already kind of see the hexagon sort of forming with the chain 3 spaces, at least the general hexagon shape. And now we're going to do a single crochet round for the last round. So just 5 single crochet in the first chain 3 space. And then you're gonna go 3, 3, 3 in each of these next chain 2 spaces. All right, so 3, 3, and 3. Okay, and then 5 in the next chain space, 3, 4, and 5. All right, and I do have one ready, so it's pretty simple, just 5, 3, 3, 3, 5, 3, 3, 3, and you'll have 84 singles on the final round. So here's how it ends up looking, and this has been the sunflower motif from the 2022 VVCAL, and I will see you guys on the next one.